Hello and welcome back to 4FS Gaming. I'm Ascendance, and today we are going to be looking at the secrets of everyone's favourite swashbuckler, swindler, smooth talker, and okay, maybe not he's your favourite general because Princess Leia is pretty cool, but it is Lando Calrissian. We are going to talk all about his base stats, his abilities, some damage numbers on his weapon, and then we're going to go into some tactics, and then we'll finish off with some gameplay breakdowns to show exactly how effective he can be in this game. I do encourage you guys to all stick around to the end of this video where we will be analysing some gameplay footage, because I think that'll be a really valuable addition to this series. Don't forget to check out our Discord server and also our Twitch channel, which are linked in the description below. We're really working on growing our community of gamers, so if you want to come play with us or chat with us, those are the links that you should follow. So let's get started with the basics. Lando has a decent move speed, which is pretty average amongst most heroes and villains. However, he does have a lot of health, clocking in at 800 with enhanced star cards, or 650 without them. Although, if you're playing him seriously, you definitely want that star card to take him up to 800 health. Unfortunately, Lando's health regeneration is where he falls a little bit short. He can only regenerate 150 points of health, so anything more than that and he will start taking permanent damage. This regeneration will kick in after a delay of 4.8 seconds, and it will regenerate at 50 points per second. Because Lando has no method of getting health back once he's taken that permanent damage, you want to stick to cover, use his smoke grenade, and ensure that you're not taking too much. But if you do, he does have a nice buffer before he's going to get taken out, because he just starts with so damn much. Equally, Lando's Night Sniper X8 pistol isn't the most impressive gun in the world, but it can hold its own. It will be dealing 40 damage with each shot if you're up close, but that will drop down to 25 if you're trying to shoot someone from long range. What's interesting about this weapon is that it fires as fast as you can pull the trigger, so you can definitely ramp up a decent fire rate and smash out a lot of damage in a short period of time. It holds a pretty standard critical modifier of 1.9 times damage, so shooting for the head is definitely worth it, but remember that this gun also overheats very quickly. To offset this, it has an incredibly swift natural cooling cycle, so if you do stop pulling the trigger after a few moments, it will cool itself down very quickly. Now I'm also going to talk about the smoke grenade in this section where I'm talking about basic abilities, because it doesn't really do anything particularly special, but it's always around to make use of. So this smoke grenade has a duration of 10 seconds, where there will be a reasonable amount of thick smoke in an area, and it will cool down after 14 seconds, so you can use it pretty frequently. Its only problem is that it doesn't really work that well. I mean, it does make the area more chaotic, it's harder for people to see exactly where you are, and you can kind of shoot out of it because your Night Sniper when zoomed in does have that thermal imaging scope, but it doesn't give you a massive advantage. There are some tactics that can use it quite well. You can throw it on an objective when someone's trying to plant to give them a little bit of cover. This can be very helpful in Galactic Assault. It's not that useful at all in Heroes vs Villains. You can also use it to mask yourself before moving in to pull off a sharp shot, which can acquire targets through the smoke. Now to round out Lando Calrissian's neutral game, we have the Disabler. This is his right ability, and essentially what it does is it will highlight enemies within its radius, and it will scramble their radar. Now this has a duration of 25 seconds once thrown, and after it runs out, it'll take 19 seconds to come off cooldown. Now it obviously gives you an advantage if you can see where enemies are around walls, behind cover, and get shots on them as they pop out, and also scrambling their radar certainly helps the rest of your team. However, where this ability really shines is that when it detonates, and you can detonate it earlier by pressing the activation button again, you will be able to stun all enemies within a tight radius of the Disabler. The stun duration is pretty decent, and it allows you to slam a lot of shots into those targets. This is probably at the height of its usefulness in Heroes vs Villains. As we can see, it is a damn powerful piece of hardware. So yeah, you probably get the idea. The Disabler is very good at just point killing a target in Heroes vs Villains, and it's pretty useful for doing the same thing in Galactic Assault. Now that we're talking about Galactic Assault, I'm going to mention the last ability of Lando Calrissian, and that is his Sharp Shot. It's my favourite thing about him, and although it is useful in Heroes vs Villains for picking off that last escaping enemy and getting them just before they run around a corner, or picking off Boba Fett as he flies up into the air, it really does shine in Galactic Assault. Basically, Sharp Shot, his middle ability, gives you the ability to target and auto lock on up to 5 enemies. When you pull the trigger, it will deal 200 damage to each of these 5 enemies if the shot hits. Once you have activated Sharp Shot, you have 7 seconds to pull the trigger and destroy your targets. If you wait too long, the effect will end and it will go on cooldown. The cooldown is only 12 seconds. This means you can spam it a fair bit, and the cooldown is reduced even further when you've got a certain Star Card equipped that allows you to reduce the cooldown when landing shots on at least 3 targets. And if you weren't concentrating at the start of this video and are wondering why Sharp Shot is just so good in Galactic Assault, these clips should more or less tell you why. So there we go. That's pretty much everything that Lando can do. Now normally at this point I'd just run over some general tactics, but this time around I think it might be a little bit more useful to look at some actual gameplay footage of how I use Lando to achieve objectives in Galactic Assault. So I run up on the flank on this last side of Starkiller Base. I'm using the smoke grenade to make it a little bit harder to hit me, and I'm going to cover Crown Ponyo here, who is on the point. I'm waiting for enemies to come in, and as soon as that Sharp Shot comes up, take out the people behind him. It's a very, very good vantage point, and each map has its own special places where Lando can shine from. This is one of my favorites. I'm smoking out onto Ponyo, but unfortunately that heavy does get the kill on him, and I'm just going to cover the area and hope that this infiltrator next to me, this specialist, gets it in her head to go down and finally achieve that objective. And out there goes another smoke just to make sure that she is covered, and I'm going to keep this flame trooper pinned down. It is hard to damage through all of that health, but I can definitely do enough to make him stay away until the objective is complete. So that's how I like to use Lando on the attack. Let's have a look at how he goes in a little bit more of a defensive situation. Here we are defending the center turbo laser. It's the first phase of Yavin 4. Now I'm going to go in really, really close to this corridor, and these 2 little rooms, I suppose you will call them, underneath the caves up top, are a really, really good vantage point to sneak out from and take out your sharp shots with Lando. So I'm going to try and hold this area, and you'll see I'm repeating a process of throwing down my grenade, my smoke grenade, walking into the smoke and using the cover to fire off a sharp shot. Again, I'm using the smoke grenade to help my teammate on objectives, and combination of the night sniper and sharp shot to take out hardened targets. Now that was a very, very messy engagement right there. You've got Han Solo, he's being played by Ponyo, and he lost almost all of his health trying to defuse that explosive, so he's almost out of the fight. But there's only a few more reinforcements to go. They've got some heroes up the top, including Bosk. Here I am, just trying to repeat that cycle with the sharp shot to get some kills, take down those reinforcements, but nothing as of yet. And I'm starting to feel the pressure because they are rushing. They know that they don't have long to go. And that officer pulls off an excellent shield, preventing us from taking him down. However, we do manage to secure a bit around the area. That sharp shot there ensures that no one is rushing up the corridor, and teammates are able to defuse the bomb again. So we just keep repeating this process. Grenade, sharp shot, using that disabler around the objective to keep enemies at bay. Death troopers have come in, stunned the death trooper, taking him out. That is the kind of heroes versus villains tactic that I've been practicing. and we're still trying to reduce the numbers coming in because we're in overtime. We just need to get them off it and defuse that bomb. It's working pretty well. I noticed that they are having another hero coming in through that corridor, and so I move back up onto the point. It is Palpatine, who becomes stunned, and once stunned is taken out, securing us a victorious game. Now we're just going to finish off with some clips courtesy of Adamo14 from the Discord. Now I'm just going to mention that one more time. You should all join our Discord server because it's really great fun to play with you guys that watch the channel, get some suggestions, hear your feedback, and that is the best place to do it. As we finish up, I just want to say a massive thank you for watching. This is actually the first video that I've done using Vegas Pro 14 instead of Filmora, and I'd love to hear your feedback because I'm always trying to improve my skills. And until next time, again, thanks for watching. This is Ascendance from 4FS Gaming. Check out our streams. Please like this video or dislike it because feedback is always good, and subscribe if you want to see more. Until then, enjoy your time on the Battlefront.